All right, patrons, I mentioned being excited about something that I've been shooting for a while. This is that thing. This is the Taurus 22 Tuck. This is a pre-production sample that Taurus sent out to me. Taurus ain't paying me, but I didn't pay for the gun. So there it is. Just going to give you a quick rundown of the gun. So this is a 9+1 single stack 22 LR. It is a double action only with a bobbed hammer and roughly a 10-pound pull. It is a heavier, longer pull, but it is very smooth. So I think that is ideal. This is a tilt barrel design. So when you load this, there is no need, and it's not even ideal, to rack the slide. To load this, you just drop the round directly in the chamber, close the gun, and then insert your magazine. And to unload it, you just drop the magazine, tilt the barrel up, and dump it out. That's a pretty nice and simple manual of arms. I like it. People will say this is like a new Beretta Bobcat. Yep, 9+1 capacity is nice to have. Also, by making that a 9+1, you get a slightly longer grip, especially with the added little pinky groove they give you on the magazine, which lets a average hand-sized dude, I wear a large glove, lets me get a full firing grip on the gun. You can tell how small this gun is because when I go to a high register, I'm basically touching the front sight. That's pretty awesome for a pocket gun. It is all of the ergonomic goodness that fills my hand and none of the extra space wasted. I really like the bobbed hammer on this. That is ideal for pocket carry. You guys know I'm not a big fan of beaver tails, but on this gun, I can't see shaving this off. I think that I would get slide bite bad enough to maybe impede the function of the gun if I didn't have that beaver tail, but it's very comfortable in my hand, so no problem. And in a pocket, in a leather pocket holster, so you guys know this is a Barsony leather pocket holster off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. All I've done to it, this is for the Beretta Bobcat, I've just taken that and cut the top off so that it still covers the trigger guard entirely, but I can get a full wrap on the gun and still get my claw grip that I like. In a pocket holster, when I get a full grip on the gun, the profile of this gun escapes the pocket nicely. This extra pinky extension on the mag is angled so that it slides out of the pocket. The back face of the gun, of the slide, with the integrated rear sight, it's a nice ramp to it so that it slides out of the pocket nicely. .81. I think this is a better executed pocket pistol semi-auto than any other variant that I have seen. The size is right, the weight is right. This is both smaller and lighter than the LCR 22 or the Smith & Wesson 43C, and it has 2 more shots on board. This gun is definitely giving the LCR 22 a run for its money in fighting for real estate in my pocket. I've been carrying this and I like it. It is much less bulky in the pocket than my little snub nose revolvers. And from my time evaluating the LCR 22, I would say that it carries about the same size when I put them both in pocket holsters. but this is far more comfortable to shoot, far easier to get a good grip indexed on, and I don't have to mess with any manual safeties or worry about um, any trigger issues. If you want to bring a pocket gun to my class, I require a double action trigger. Having that roughly 10-pound long trigger press on there, that's a feature, guys. These guns that come out that are pocket sized, that have 5-pound triggers on them, I don't care if they have a manual safety or not. I don't like that for pocket carry. This though, I do like. I think this is good. We've got a short little barrel, but I have tested this with punch in gel, and of the 5 rounds that I shot through gel, 1 of them went all the way through a 16-inch block. The rest of the 4 were all in a tight group right at 14 inches. 22 punch, 10 feet, bare gel. Total pass. One total pass through, and the rest of these are, the shallowest is about right there. Okay guys, so I've moved the camera and we're going to look at the punch, which is over here. So looking at the shallowest penetrating punch, I have 12 and a quarter. If I count the bounce back there, it's actually 13. Next up is one that turned around in the block right here. That is 13, and I'll call it 13 and a half. Another one that is 13 and a half. If I count the bounce back, that's 13 and 3/4. And then I have another one over here, which is 13 and 3/4. And I have our total pass through, which on this block, that's, I'll move you here. That is if I flatten this out, that is a 16-inch block, guys. This plus this gives you adequate penetration for self-defense. It is a good little 22 pocket gun for self-defense. And I think that anyone that could hold this gun and manage any 22 in recoil, the little bit of recoil that it has, I think they're going to have enough strength to press that trigger, and with any amount of good practice, you're going to be able to make hits with that. I'm approaching 2,000 rounds that I've put through this gun, and I will say that I think it's a decent shooter. It's pretty easy to make faster than 0.2 splits on. It is pretty easy to make A-zone hits out to 20 yards. Another 10 rounds of punch. And a lot of that is due to having actual usable sights. It's a very visible front sight, and it's not these ridiculous, super low profile sights that you see on so many of these pocket guns. These are real sights, guys. Yeah, they give you a pretty good sight picture. So yeah, I like shooting the gun. Reliability wise, this is more reliable than the LCR22, SIG's P322, the SR22. It is less reliable than my TX22, but I will say that the TX22 series of guns, I think they are the most reliable 22 autos in manufacture right now. This isn't there, but it's pretty good, guys. It's pretty good reliability. It's enough where I feel comfortable carrying the gun. I carry it with punch. I have shot enough punch through it to trust it with punch. A couple hundred rounds of punch through that. cycled flawlessly every time. And in the 2,000 rounds that I've put through this gun, I've put a varied amount of CCI velocitor, 3 different types of CCI mini mag, a Gila, their version of the Stinger, their super high velocity round through it. It cycled all of those. Federal bulk pack, Blazer 40 grain, and CCI standard. For carry, I really would only trust this gun with either punch or velocitors, and as I haven't put velocitors in gel through this gun, I'm just going to say that I'm happy with carrying the Federal punch with this gun. In the malfunctions that I have had on this gun, I've had 3 or 4 malfunctions where on the last round, the last round of the gun out of the magazine on a dirty gun, where it stood up in the feed ramp out of the barrel instead of, so it stood up like that instead of going into the chamber. Again, I got 9 out of the 10 shots out of the gun on every one of those malfunctions, but that still counts as an actual malfunction there. And that was on, none of those were on punch. All of those malfunctions were on stuff like the Federal bulk pack or the Blazer 40 grain stuff. So it's going to happen. I think in 22 autos, especially in the smaller ones, getting them to run at like Glock reliability is kind of far-fetched, but this gun runs reliable enough for me to consider betting my life on it.